The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy G-Wade holding it down, G-Wade Podcast, and I'm kicking it alongside with my man Deacon
Dirty.
And we got a very special guest in the building. Me and his brother have been kicking it for a little while now. Been knowing him for almost a year now at this point.
Yeah.
We're castmates on a project that's coming soon. Shout outs to Jay Nance and Ace Entertainment and all them over there. My man Christopher James Green is in the building.
Yes, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, we are castmates, and we didn't really do a lot of talking on this set, and because of the shooting and filming and all that kind of stuff. But then we got a chance to kick it.
Yeah.
When you came to sign the posters, and we kind of got a little more background, a little bit more in depth into who you were. And I said at some point we're gonna get you on the show, but then shout outs to April.
Yeah, I know, right?
AMP. She made the connect or set it up. And now you're here.
Nah, I'm here, man.
So that's what's up. So like I said, we like to get a little introspective. We like to learn about our guests, endear them to our listeners so that they can learn more about you. So we can learn more about you. And if you hawking your wares, they'd be like, oh, I like him. I'm going to buy his T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Makes it a lot easier that way.
I got to get some T-shirts then, man.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, so let's back it up a little bit. You are born and raised where?
Boston.
And I'm going to ask you a question that hopefully won't be offensive.
Nah, it's okay.
Okay?
It's okay.
All right,
man.
I'm going to ask you a question, but I ain't going to get there yet. Give me just a minute.
I'm ready for it. Well, I'll prepare myself for it.
Right.
But I'm from, I say Boston, Massachusetts because that's like where people know, but I'm like 15 minutes outside of Boston from Quincy, Massachusetts.
Quincy?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Quincy, Deke?
Yep. Yeah, you are?
Deke spent some time up there.
A few years.
A few years up there.
All right,
a few is good, though. I mean, you probably know more about Boston, I think, because based on what you're always talking about it, than I know about Atlanta, and I've been here 16 years.
Atlanta's big, though, man.
I know, but it's not that big that I should not know.
True.
You know
that is true.
You know what I'm saying? I should know a little bit more than what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost embarrassing.
I know. I mean, I've been here for 3 years, and I still, I'll hear about restaurant stuff that I've never heard of.
But
people that have been here for a few months, and I'm like, oh, wow.
But you get a pass, though. You know what I'm saying? A few years versus 16 years.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Come on, dude. Get out more. Move around. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So from Boston, from Quincy, right outside of Boston,
Yeah.
how was life growing up in Quincy?
Oh, man. I always call it, I didn't grow up in the hood. I say that I grew up in the suburban hood. So, you had, preppy.
Suburban hood.
Yeah, you had preppy rich kids in my school, and then.
Oh, we got to write that down, suburban
That's what
hood.
I call it.
That might be,
Yeah.
Hold on, that's a thought.
I might have to trademark it.
Right. Hey, we recorded this hours.
Right? It's documented.
Right.
So, we had preppy kids, cheerleading kids. Then we had kids with some scar marks on their face that have been stabbed. So it was kind of I was bottom of the tier, the poverty kids. I was in the middle. Yeah. So it was I wasn't good at basketball. So I didn't hang out with the basketball kids, but I didn't hang out with the cool
and you
rich
stand
kids.
what, 6?
I'm 6'3" now.
6'3",
I was probably 6'1", 6 feet in high school.
Okay.
I grew a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was, I didn't hang out with the best kids. So we weren't, we were out causing trouble. You know what I mean? I hung out with the kids that were spray painting and doing
a little
all
mischief.
That stuff. Yeah, for sure. Definitely that. But, and then I started boxing at 15 and then all that stuff stopped. I still had the friends, but
Go ahead. You just say something.
So when you can box, you don't really need to play basketball then.
Yeah, exactly. But if I never would have had that, I probably would be so unathletic. But yeah, I didn't need to.
You got the hands, you don't,
Oh yeah, I don't need to. I don't need to ball up.
But when you got the hands, especially when you're young and you got the hands, it seems like people want to test you.
Oh, always.
You know
always,
what I mean?
man.
Let's see what you got.
Always. I just tell them to come down to the gym and I'll be waiting. Some kids wanted to, and I'll be waiting right after school, waiting at the gym with my bag. My trainer be like, just tell them to sign a waiver. And I'm like, oh, cool.
That's funny.
As long as they sign that, we can get, but nobody
He just
ever
got
did
knocked though.
Right? Well, he knew.
Right. He signed a
Did you
waiver.
just say waiver?
Right.
That's funny.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so hanging out with the other kind of on the other side of the tracks of suburban hood.
Yeah.
But started boxing. What got you? What led you into boxing?
Well, it's funny because I wanted to act like all my life. I remember I seen like Spider-Man 2. That's when I wanted to act.
Okay.
Just that day, I don't know. I walked out the movie theater thinking like I was like hitting the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my uncle. I was like 11. I was like, I want to do that. He was like, well, you don't jump off of buildings now, but that's an actor. And I was like, wow, I want to do that.
That's
but
funny.
you know, growing up,
But I'm glad he said that.
Yeah, but growing up how I grew up, there wasn't. It was like I'm biracial, so I already like had it. Like I said, suburban hood. So imagine.
So you
what that's
segueing
like.
into my question, but
Yeah.
go on.
But
You're touching
so it was always like difficult for me. So me doing theater, I wasn't gonna happen.
No?
It was already tough enough. Theater, it was not gonna happen. So
Because you couldn't walk down the street.
well, just doing theater, just where
I'm a thespian.
yes, yeah.
Beat him up.
I already had my friends, and I could imagine like now it's like my hood friends. They don't care.
Right.
Chris done made it, man. Christopher done made it.
That's what's up.
But
Yeah.
back then it would have been like, nah, you can't roll with us, bro. Yeah, you can't roll with us. But
Hey,
so
Romeo.
right, hey.
Homeo. We're out there.
But so I was like, and back then I didn't know like, you know, that they were stunt men and all this stuff. So when I was
Gotcha.
watching these movies, I was like, all right, these dudes just know martial arts. All these actors in these action movies just know martial arts.
Okay,
So I
okay.
was like, if I just start doing martial arts, then later in my life, I could start acting. And then
Okay.
I have both things together, you know,
Okay.
because I didn't know. So that's what
so
I did.
somewhat of blissful ignorance.
Yeah. But then I went down to the gym, and then the trainer was like, all right, this dude's 6'1", 162 pounds. Let's grab him. So, and then from there, it changed my life. It did discipline me a lot. I'm glad.
Right, gotcha.
If I could go back and do theater and change things, I wouldn't. Like
You would
boxing,
not
really,
do it.
I wouldn't. I would
Okay.
still take the route that I did. I maybe start acting a few years earlier because I started acting like 22, but like I definitely would have stayed in boxing because it taught me
Okay.
so many life lessons that I needed.
Okay.
And I still use to this day.
That's
So,
what's up.
yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. I say the same thing, not so much that I would have continued the path because my
Yeah.
path wasn't so suburban. It was hood, but not the suburban part.
Yeah.
And I would have jumped into the acting field earlier.
Yeah.
And then when I did finally, I should have stayed in.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of
Yeah.
bagged out, you know, for whatever reasons of
yeah.
fear. Also,
Yeah.
where I'm from DC,
Yeah.
certain things just didn't click that way there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, but I get it. I get
Yeah.
it totally. So, but it made you more disciplined.
Yeah. I mean, I just needed it, man, because it built a confidence in me. Like I said, I was
So were
always,
you wayward? Is that what was happening?
What do you mean?
Like in other words, you were going down the path less traveled, or path that would have just led you to.
Yeah, I had. We'll get deep on the talk today. Everybody be like, dang, because everybody always looks at me like a nice, happy dude. They don't see that side of me. But so
I will
before,
murder you. You know what I'm saying?
shortly before I started boxing,
Uh-huh.
I was with some friends, and a situation had happened. I wasn't really involved, but you're guilty by association.
Absolutely.
And they ended up robbing somebody, and then I had an unarmed robbery.
Okay.
I was going to court. Luckily, it didn't fall through.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I knew the dude who they ended up robbing. It was just this big drama fest. But he ended up dropping charges on me. And my best friend, still to this day, he ended up getting the charges. So the state, with all that stuff that they do, that is
Mm-hmm.
craziness. But they ended up, when he dropped the charges, the state decided to continue the charges.
Wow.
But they didn't on me,
Not
and they
to-
did on
oh,
my
he-
best friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he
it
ended
was,
up with the time.
no, he ended up getting like probation and stuff.
Okay,
So he got
okay.
up fairly easier. But so that happened, and I was kind of like, ooh, that was kind of a scare, and I was a little stupid. And then I started wrestling before boxing, and then what had happened was I broke my collarbone, so I got a plate in my shoulder.
Okay.
And I was out on New Year's, and I was out with my friends, and there was some other dudes that were out, and I guess they had like a problem with you know how it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It was my first time meeting them, you know. So we were talking, and I got drunk. I got a little wasted, and so I had my sling on and everything. Like I was 1 week out of surgery, and so we were on the train. I was chilling with these dudes. I didn't even know them, and then we got off the train, and one dude threw a snowball at me. And I was really intoxicated, so I just ran up and I just punched him in the face.
Wow.
And I was just like blackout drunk. Well, I didn't know what was going on. I don't know who hit me. And I was like, oh, my bad, man, my bad. And then they thought it was their time to kind of start beef.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I backed up. The dude came behind me. From what I know, I was so drunk, but I guess he had brass knuckles on. Hit me right across
wow.
the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I had stitches all through my mouth. I was on that 50 Cent status. Like I had to sit through a
yeah,
straw
yeah,
and everything.
yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
tough. Yeah. So and the crazy thing is these dudes, they were just so evil, man. They knew about my surgery because I just met them. So they were kicking me in my collarbone. And I tell people it was by God. Like the fact that it did not re-break,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand.
Wow.
Like they were stomping on my collarbone.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it was a whole
yeah.
bunch of dudes. And I remember from that moment, my friend hit me up. And he was just like, I was in the hospital. He said, what you want to do? About the dudes, because they knew who they were.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And they
yeah.
were like, what you want to do? And I was like, I had that choice. I could have made that choice, and I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's whatever. Let's just drop it.
He pulled the ace on him.
Yeah.
From,
and then 2 weeks later, I was in the boxing gym. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
With the sling on.
Boom. One arm. And
Getting
then
pass.
Yeah. And that's
Ride
it,
on
man.
these fools.
And that's like the last situation that I had where I was like, all right, man, I got this charge that I wasn't even involved in.
Right.
Now I'm getting, I just got hit and I got stitches in my mouth. And I'm just like, I got to make a choice with my life. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I still have those friends. My friends still back home going through it. And I'm just like, I could either choose to change my life or I could be stuck in this forever.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
So I decided boxing, and it was, don't get me wrong, I still hang out with those dudes, and like where I'm from, like there's a certain respect. And I don't know how it is in other places, but like the streets in Boston, they got respect. So like they knew me. I'd hang out with all those dudes.
Right,
but they knew
right.
not to, don't mess with him. Like he ain't about that life.
Yeah.
He ain't with this no more. But I'd chill with them. So they respected me. There was no like. And plus, once I started boxing, I actually kind of gave people fear. Like, dudes didn't want to mess with my dudes because
they probably put an extra respect on you, too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they had
They don't want a two-piece.
Yeah, they didn't want. Yeah, it was like they respected me, but they also didn't want to get the hands.
Right,
so
right.
it was kind of like
Like, Hurdy's good with them hands.
literally, man. But no, yeah. So
funny.
it was. And like I said, like growing up too, like I wasn't. I was on Section 8, all that stuff, EBT, all that stuff, all the housing and stuff. And I got 3 little brothers, so. And my dad wasn't really around like that, so it was. And I'm the oldest of my brothers, so it was. I definitely had the opportunity, and with anybody with my circumstances, definitely would have went down that path.
Right.
But I've always been a very ambitious person. Like people come to me for mentorship because I train people personally on the side for like boxing and stuff. And like I've just always been like wise ahead of my years. I don't know why. I just remember looking at my life, looking at my family, all the stuff that they endured, and being like, nah, I want something different.
Right. Right. Now you mentioned you're mixed.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to ask you the question.
I'm ready.
Hopefully not being offensive, but you broached the conversation. So
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
So
man.
you are being colleagues some time ago had this conversation about actors who were what we call ambiguous.
Yes. Yeah.
Like is he black? Is he white?
Spanish?
Is he
Yeah.
Hispanic?
Yeah.
Is he Iranian? You know,
You're not wrong, man.
Who is he?
He can
What is
play
he?
anything. That's
Right.
a
literally.
good thing.
Yeah, I know.
And you have that, that look where you can play anything. I was just watching it last night. The Rock. He was in what's the movie? Snitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've seen that.
Where
Yeah,
his
yeah.
wife is white, his son is white.
Yeah.
Clearly, Rock is.
Yeah.
But he's ambiguous.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And so and even when you came up here that night with your
Fiance.
fiance, I was like, what is he? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
so I'm sure growing up in Boston, what was that experience like? Because when I hear some of the athletes talking about playing in Boston, the stuff that's been happening recently in basketball with drinks getting thrown on, cups getting thrown on them.
Yeah.
They were talking about playing in Boston.
Yeah.
And how racist.
Yeah.
It is even you being on the team,
Yeah.
on the Celtics.
Yeah.
But they're still racist. How was it for you? Because were you catching it from both sides?
Yeah, all the time growing up. It's funny because I it's like I would say certain things and they'd be like, "Oh, you ain't black enough to say that." I would say certain things. "Oh, you ain't white enough to say." It was just a constant. That's why I said like if I would have went to theater, I already had dudes enough. And the thing is, I'm very witty. And I'm very funny, and that's why people always ask, "How are you so witty? How did you become so witty?" And I'm like, when people messing with you, and back at the time I couldn't box, and I was just a street fighter, get whatever. But you have to start coming up with that sass, or they're gonna keep messing with you. You have to either stand up to them or stand up to them.
Right,
so I used to admit the people would try to come at me, and I come at them worse, and everybody else is laughing at them, and I'm like, well, you shouldn't have tried me. But but no, Boston is. I don't know how it is now. I mean, I go back every now and then. It's different, but I would say that racist is a tough term because it's just so much more like a class type thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you're super rich and they look down on people.
Regardless.
Regardless.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like I've seen like African Americans that are super, super looking down on, like it doesn't matter. But I know back when I was a kid, I remember that people from Southie. Now Southies were like,
what's it called?
Southie.
Southie,
yeah, South Boston. They call it Southie, but it's South Boston.
Gotcha, okay.
I remember like that had the big rep of being like the racist rep. And I'm half Irish too, which is tough. I remember I used to go to the Irish.
Which side of you is which?
My mom. My mom's
Your mom,
white.
okay.
My dad's black. Yeah, but I remember I used to go to the Irish parades.
Okay.
Like, that didn't go well sometimes. They be shouting out
What
that.
are you doing here?
Some of them would shout that. They be shouting out that word, man.
Really?
They be shouting out that
Hey,
word.
Frankie.
That word, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? So it was tough. Like
And that's
I
not
get the
anything-
looks. I'd be like, and I'm like, my mom's right here. She's a redhead. She's a ginger. What you like? Why you like? But I remember back when I was young. I never forget we were playing basketball, and I was hanging out with my friends. I was like 13, 14, and the Southie kids were moving into Quincy. They're moving in our area. And where I grew up, it's so stupid, but like we had like beef with different towns just to I don't know. It was like, you from that town? No, I don't like you. Like for
Like
no
2 blocks
reason,
over.
man.
I've heard,
Yeah, like why?
Dorchester, Mattapan.
Yeah, Roxbury, about to say, yeah, Hyde Park. But so I was like, so those kids started moving here. I remember we were playing basketball, and there was this kid, I can't remember the kid's name, man. I can't remember the kid's name. And we were playing basketball. I forget what happened. I feel like they came up and they were like, yo, we're trying to play. And like there was another, I think there was another side of the court. We were on half the court. So
Right.
They were just trying. Because the other half of the court was
Free, yeah.
and they came up, and then we were like, yo, nah, we ain't gonna play. And we some big dudes, you know? I've always been, my friends are like the same size as me, and they're just like, nah, man, nah. So we were like, nah. And they're like, nah, you ain't about to do this. And then we were sitting there, and we weren't trying to cause trouble. Like, you know what, we're trying to, you know. And then the dude walks up, one of the dudes, and he spits in my friend's
he's
face.
a white guy.
White dude, yeah. He spits in my friend's face, and he goes,
Yeah.
he bring out that N-word. And we were like, huh. My friend wiped the spit off his face, and we were like, okay. And they all pulled out knives, and we were like, shit. All right, well, we're kind of at a disadvantage here. What do we do now? This is kind of tough. But I'll never forget that.
F8 that for me.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
My bad. But so I'll never forget that moment of being there. But like I wouldn't say there was really a lot of blatant moments like that.
Right.
But it definitely is in Boston. It definitely is there because you got to remember, like a lot of, like I said, Southie and a lot of those people, they're older generations. You know?
Yeah,
that stuff
yeah.
hadn't died off yet.
Yeah, it hadn't. So it's like, I mean, and even now, like some of the people that like are still alive, like their grandparents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would say back when I was growing up, it was kind of like precedent. But I feel like now, it's not as much. Because I'm seeing like the newer generations and stuff in Boston.
Right.
And I'm like, no, it's not. Well, it's kind of weird in general because like black culture is just like everybody loves it now, so it's kind of like it's kind of hard to be
It's
racist
in
when you
vogue.
want to be part of the culture.
Black
like,
is in vogue
all the white
right now.
kids, the prep schools. I'm just like, what? That's like because my little brother, they still live there, and I'm like, he's like, all these kids ain't they're like tough and black, and this makes no sense. And I'm just like, it's different from when I grew up.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody want to be that. They want to be preppy. that's how you knew you were making it.
Right. We've overcome.
Right? But yeah, I would say that it definitely was a struggle growing up with that.
Yeah.
You know, especially
Yeah.
because like it was hard to be part of both cultures, and especially even my friends. Like my friends were more so towards the black culture, and it's like I'm more of an open person for everything. I don't care what culture it's from. I feel like that's the greatness about being one in America and in the world is that I can like whatever I want.
Right.
I don't have to like what you like. You know, that's cool. But so like rock music, my friends would make fun of me for that. I mean, I was genuinely into rap when I was younger, but like my friends would just clown me all day for the rock music. And I'm like, dude, how do you even know? And then I'm just like, you haven't listened to it before, so how do you know it's not good?
Right.
I'm like, maybe they say that about rap. I'm like, come on. But yeah, it was more so of an environmental like struggle of what I went through more so than that. I would say that out of everything, that was more on like the lower side. I mean, I had stuff with cops too. I got stuff like that too. So it's just I've had situations where I've been profiled for that. But like I said, I'm not black, full black. But if you seen me back then, the way I dressed, it didn't matter. The cops didn't care. They were like, well, he looks tan.
He fixed it.
But by the way he's dressed, he's gaining a couple shades.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah.
He's Obama black.
Right. But, no, yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't say – it was definitely there, though. It's definitely there. I don't know about now. Like I said, I've been gone for a bit. But.
Yeah.
It's really weird because the short time that I was there, I can honestly say when I first moved there, it was a culture shock.
Yeah.
It's a historical town, and because it is a historical town, you think that it's bigger than what it really is.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, it's like you got all these famous universities. You got Harvard over in Cambridge. You got MIT. You got BU, Northeastern, and all these schools. You got all these demographics living together in this one little small town, and for some reason it works.
Yeah.
You know. Everybody lives there. It's like one big melting pot. You know, it's like I don't want to say it because It's a sort of like it's not a jab at Bostonians, but it's like a mini New York, pretty much. It's like a Jamaicans, Haitians, Cape Verdeans.
Cape Verdeans. When I first heard of Cape Verdeans, I was like, what?
Yeah, in Boston, you know exactly what they are.
Boston and Rhode Island.
They had their own table in my high school.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, their own table. Yep.
Irish, Italian. It's weird. Rich, poor, middle class.
Yeah.
All that in one small city.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's always an interesting place. I always say that. Listen, I love Boston. You always gotta love where you're from. But I feel like the people there. People never assume that I'm from Boston because a typical Bostonian, which you probably know, is very standoffish. I think the Bostonians are worse than New Yorkers, in my honest opinion. Like, attitude-wise, yeah. Like, my fiance, when she first moved there, I remember, and especially...
So she's from the West Coast,
LA,
right?
yeah.
LA, yeah.
So, man, yeah. She was like, what is this?
Right.
But
that's a culture shock.
And real. And then, so, like, obviously, like I said, all Bostonians, no matter what social class, they're very standoffish. So when we first met... And like I said, I grew up the way that I grew up. So I remember we went to like these fireworks. And, you know, she's just this bubbly LA girl that's hanging out. And then some people drove past us. And she was like, whoa. And she like stuck her hands up. And this is my side of town. I was like, crap. And we were in a different part of my town. So a town that we didn't really mess with these dudes. So then they stopped the car. And there's some girls, too. And the girls from where I'm from, they don't care either. They'll throw down, too. I was like, oh, man. They get out like, what'd you say? And I was like, oh, man. And I switched. And I was like, and my boys were like, hey, what's up? And then we were like, we had a little standoff. It was like some grease stuff, you know? Right. And then they got back in their car. and they drove off. And she was like, what did I do? And I was like, you didn't do anything. But to them, you did everything.
Did everything, right.
And I'm like, you got to understand that.
It's an aggressive, what's the word I'm looking for? It can be kind of aggressive. I'll just say that, you know.
You can't look at nobody. You can't look at nobody.
Like,
I've seen people I can't tell how many times I've seen people get out of cars and fight.
Yeah.
Over like nothing.
Because you're looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got jumped because of that.
Yeah.
I did. It was at a go-go. In D.C., we have go-go's, the band, go-go bands.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I'm standing outside of the go-go. Some dudes were walking by. I'm standing outside. And I noticed the dude looking at me, but I'm looking. I'm not really even looking in any kind of way because I'm not thinking on that.
Yeah,
we just having fun in there. But he was like, "What you looking at?" But now it turned me into what I need to be. Yeah, because I can't not say nothing. Yeah, and so I said some words.
Turn up.
I said some words.
I said a few words. You know what I'm saying? I won't repeat here.
I got you.
But again, I wasn't on that. But because he said it, I had to respond away. And his cousin said something. I said something again. Yeah. 20 of them came my way. Yeah. Yeah. And
you're like, oh, we got a situation.
Then now we got a thing. Yeah. But certain parts of where you from, or depending on where you from, certain things you can and cannot do. Yeah. I have a friend who says whatever. Yeah. And the first time I heard her say it, she says whatever. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, whatever. I was like, wait, what do you mean whatever? Yeah. Because it was offensive to me. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
depending on who you talking to.
Yeah. Depends on who you talking to. But I'm talking to a female, so I'm not going to
like you're trying to blow the person off.
Let's go. What did I say it again?
It's almost like you're trying to blow the person off.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever. Like dismiss them,
Thank you. That was the word I used. Mm-hmm. I said that's dismissive. Mm-hmm. And when you say that, that's dismissive to me, I said it from D.C., when we hear whatever, it's fighting words. Yeah. Because when you talking to somebody, whatever. Yeah. Oh, what you saying? You know what I'm saying? It's automatic. So I can see when your girl throw her hands or do whatever she did to them. Oh, we supposed to fight now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, skirt. You know what I'm saying?
But it's crazy when you because I'm not in it no more, so it's just crazy. And like last time I went to Boston, I was with my friends. I still get with them. I don't care where.
Of course, yeah.
I don't care. It don't matter where I go in life. I could have multi-millions. They're still gonna be my boys, and that never changes. But
be careful though.
Yeah, of course. But I went out there and
did he say millions?
What up, huh? What up, CJ?
Right. And the nickname, like, bro.
Right.
But I went out there. I remember I was at my friend's house, and someone drove up in front of his house, and he obviously, like I said, he's still in that life. And he was looking at him. It was this 5'2" white girl. And I'm like, bro, what is she gonna do to you? Like, relax.
Right,
like,
wow.
why are you looking at her like that? And he was like, oh, my bad. And I was like, yeah, man, I get it if it was somebody and you thought, but I'm like, you just can't be like, look, now you got her scared. Like, why are you looking? Get us looking. So I was like, I had to step back, like, oh, I forget that they do that. I forget that when you're in that, like, anybody look at you, you like.
That's part of the game.
And she was smiling too. The lady was smiling. I was like, man, she's friendly. Why are you looking
Don't hurt me.
Right? What you doing, man? Like, jeez. But no, totally.
Yeah. That's what I said. Is that PTSD? It's just that thing that will just flashback sometimes.
My fiance got me saying the saying now. Even if it's a guy or a girl, she always, because when I came down here, I still had, it took me a while to get out of it. And I was like, this person, I've said it like 2 weeks ago. I was like, this dude keep looking at me. And she's like, babe, it's because he thinks you're pretty. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They gonna be the biggest dude. I'm like, he just think I'm handsome. That's what it is.
Oh, so you think I'm handsome?
Yeah, you think I'm pretty.
Right,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
That's what he over there doing, right? Is he Cape Verdean?
He looks like Raul.
Right? But it helps me. It helps my brain like get off of that. Because if not, I'm going to think it's something else. So I kind of just like, I dismiss it. I let it go. And it works for me.
But that's good.
But,
She's giving you have a trigger.
Yeah.
And so she's giving you the whatever thing, the coping mechanism for that trigger.
Yeah.
It's like a good balance. You got over-aggressive Boston, laid back West Coast. That's like the perfect balance.
Exactly, man. Listen, I have to admit, I'm still working on the driving now. I got that Bostonian road rage is still there. I literally just did it as I pulled up to the studio, man. This person like came. I was like,
I'm like,
bro, what's
CJ
your
is
problem?
me. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, first time driving up there. As soon as the light turns green,
yeah, right away.
I'm turning around like, what the?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Your foot coming off the brake, buddy.
Literally.
So when I moved back down there, I had to like revert back to, to being
Atlanta.
in the South again. 'Cause I was starting to drive like that.
Yeah.
I said, go.
Right? What are you doing?
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
And people will walk out into the street like it ain't nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And you just got to,
Yeah.
I had to change that too, especially in Atlanta. You're going to die. You're on 90 or 40. I got to tell, I'm like, no, I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
My friends came to visit, like, I'm like, no, what are you crossing? No, not here. We are not home. You're going to die, man.
And that's funny. You said it just happened on your way here. I don't know if it was out here on Old Nat or not, but I always tell people drive on Old Nat like they got full coverage. You know what I'm saying? Because cars just dip.
Yeah,
in and
it
out
was getting off the exit to come down the straight road.
Yeah, see?
This dude, he had his hazards on. I don't know if he was doing something in his, so it was a full highway, and he had his hazards on, and then he just came out, and he came out slow. So we're going like 50.
Yeah,
it was clearly him. Like, he made him, and I was like, I couldn't move. I had to, like, hit my I was like,
wow.
So it's not really, it's still not justified. But
I'm driving here.
I was like, what the? I was like, bro, come on, man.
Move your car.
Move your car. You're in the wrong lane. Come on.
Flashback. Like
Right? I'm Boston. I'm Boston strong. Come on.
Oh, that's too funny.
Have you ever went into an audition playing a person from New England? They told you your accent is not authentic. Has that ever happened to you?
No, I think every time I pull it out, everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah. People do it to me and they do it wrong. So I'm just like, okay.
Like I just did.
I mean,
I did. No,
but the thing is, Boston and New York is very similar accent. It's just I feel like, shoot, my people from my state can come after me. But I feel like Boston is like the less classy. It's less classy version. You can listen to New York, but my God, you're from New York. When you hear Boston, it just sounds like it's like. It sounds like
there's an R in car.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it sounds like New York is more like, oh, it's cool.
Right.
And then Boston's like, oh, like New York, I can't do New York.
Go down to the garden.
Yeah, to the garden, and we'll go to Tom Brady, and then you come over, and then we'll go to the Packy, and we'll grab a couple cigarettes, and then we'll come down and. Yeah, so it's very like. I could never talk to girls growing up with a Boston accent. I could never do it. I don't know why. It just triggers me, man. I don't know why. And I was like, oh my God, Christopher. I'm like, oh, stop, please, Christopher.
Whenever you see,
that's funny.
Jimmy Fallon did his stint on SNL. They would do that skit. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
They had that commercial. Was it last Super Bowl that was famous? It had Chris Evans. it had everybody from Boston. It's called Smart Park. Do you remember that?
No.
Do you remember it? No? Look it up. It's so funny. They're literally like, it's Chris, because Captain America, Chris Evans, he's from Boston.
Okay.
People didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, because people never rep Boston when they get famous. It's weird.
Oh, them Wahlbergs.
Wahlbergs, Joyner Lucas, the rapper, he reps it, but like a lot of people don't. But so they like pull up, and there's like this, it's like the car parks itself. Like there's like a lady, I don't know the actress's name, but she's from Boston too, and she's like, "Oh wow, you look at that, Jimmy," and they're like, "Oh yeah, oh you're just gonna park the car in there all by itself?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am. It's Smart Park," and they're like, "Smart Park, Smart Park," and it was like the #1 commercial of the year, and everybody's texting me like, "Hey, Smart Park," and I'm like, "Don't you dare!"
Classic.
I was, oh man, it was smart though.
That's too funny. Okay, so then how did you escape Boston? When did you decide? Hey, I need to get out of here, but I need to move, relocate, pursue my career. When did you decide the career was worth the pursuit?
It was, I mean, who knows if it really was or not. I just made it kind of like a leap of faith. I was doing auditions, so I was signed. I did a couple commercials and stuff.
Okay. In Boston?
In Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, I did like a Nerf gun commercial and like a couple other videos. I did like a bank commercial and stuff. But I was realizing, it's funny that we just transitioned into this conversation from acting, I mean, from the accents, because I was, some of the auditions were like that.
Okay.
Because when people usually go to Boston, yes, they'll have little roles and stuff, but not as much as as Georgia, or like LA, or even like Chicago or New York. They kind of go there like specifying what they're looking for.
Gotcha.
And like, although I can do the accent, I don't have the look. I'm not some white dude with tattoos with a Boston Red Sox hat on.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't matter how good I can do the accent. Doesn't matter how good I can act. They're not going to go for me.
It's like a barking cat.
Yeah, and it's funny because like there definitely are stereotypes in Boston, how we talked about earlier, because like for instance, my friend, he's racially ambiguous too, but he's Saudi Arabian, and he booked a role, I think it was NCIS, and oh, that's great. But it was a Saudi Arabian guy.
Yeah.
So like I would go to commercials. And like I'd get booked. They'd be happy. Like when I did it was some like little board game thing commercial, and I went on there and I was super happy. And I started looking around. And I was like, okay, you got an Asian girl, a dark skinned black dude, white dude. And I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be. What the hell is he? They're trying to do everything in there.
Yeah.
And I kept going.
The other.
Yeah, I'm the other on the little check mark. But I kept doing like commercials, and I kept just paying attention. Like, oh, I'm that other. So I wanted to like.
You should hold that. That's a skit.
I know, right?
No, seriously.
But so I wanted to like be, like I wanted to dive in more. So I did all these commercials, and the money is great. And I still got friends from back home. They're with the same agency, and they still do the same commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not. And like I said, where my drive and ambitions comes from boxing, it's like I'm not gonna sit here and just be comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable. So I was like, all right, I got to make a change. And then me and my fiance literally, because I'm one of the types of people that when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And there's no ifs, ands. It's not like, oh, people say that. Like, no, I literally will do it.
I feel
like,
you.
So we started looking for houses, and we said by April, I forget what month it was. We were like, by next April, we're going to be either in an apartment, we're either going to be in our car, or we're going to have a house.
Yeah.
And then we bought a house. I didn't even know what the house looked like. I only
So
been
you
here
bought
once.
this from
Boston.
While in Boston. Okay.
Yeah, I had my realtor.
Considerably cheaper.
Oh, 100%. I would never be able to get a house in Boston. Never. But so I was
family or something like that.
I was like, I wanna like diverse into it. I wanna really fully get into it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I wasn't challenging myself enough. And like Boston, like I said, the films go there, but they go there for the aspect of Boston. Yeah, they may have a role or two, but like
it's very intentional.
Yeah, and it's like the film isn't really like I never did a short film in Boston. I was acting for about a year, and I never did a short film in my life. Like there was like nothing there.
Right.
Because film wasn't there. Yes, film went there, but film wasn't there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I have to make a change. Either stay here or go.
Right.
And then I just jumped. Like it wasn't like I said. That's why it's hard to say. Like, was there a moment? No, it was just like, all right, I want to move my career forward.
Gotcha.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So
you loaded up the Lincoln and moved to Atlanta.
Yeah, no, I mean I had a Ford Focus, man. It was I was like this the whole entire 17 hours, man. Oh my, that was probably the most freeing my legs have ever felt getting out of a car. I was like I'm 6'3", so I was like, oh my God. They were getting to the point at the truck that I got that they were starting to add on, because we had so much stuff, they were starting to add on like, what was it, cubic feet or whatever. It was like $100 each thing. I was in the car like, I could have been more comfortable and paid the money, but I was like, no, you ain't gonna charge me for all this. I'm gonna squeeze everything in this car. It was like lamps and this and that. It was everything in the car. But yeah,
Atlanta or bust.
Yeah,
You know
I was
what
like,
mean?
no, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. So you landed in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you landed a role fairly soon after you got here, right?
Well, see, here's the thing. As I came here, and then when you get a house, I was very ambitious. It's funny because I did the whole thing that all actors do, or like inspiring me and inspiring artists in general. I was like, told my fiance, I was like, you're never gonna have to work again. This is it. I know. You guys are like, oh, why do you say that?
Beauregard.
Right? Sitting here, just bought a house, man. I'm like, don't worry, this is it. Didn't have an agent, nothing. So then, I am a firm believer that the saying is true. When you buy a house, things go wrong. My HVAC broke, 10 grand. I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't have a job here. I was like, oh my goodness. So I took a year off to kind of focus on that, getting the thing swinging because I didn't have business here. I never trained anybody here. So I had to get clients. I had to do all of that. And so I took a year off. And then I started to get into it. And then I did. I got roles fairly quickly, like some short films. And so I did a whole bunch of short films. And then COVID hit, and then poof, everything's gone. Yeah. But yeah, I hit it pretty hard. I mean, I know some people struggle. I'm very blessed that I was able to do so much. Like I've done a lot since I've been here. I've done short films that like I'll see somebody post a still of and be like throwback, like a director. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I did that. Yeah. And that's a good feeling instead of like you doing like 4 things and you know each thing that you've done. So I've done a lot, and I always believe in staying active. So like I always jump to opportunities, and now I'm getting to the point where it's like I'm getting up there where I'm like, okay, I can't just take anything. Like I did something like a month ago, and I was looking at the footage, and I was like, it was a student film, and I was like, yeah, Christopher, you can't keep doing this stuff. Yeah. You're a little past
I know
this
you're trying to pack the resume a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, even right now, man, I'm thinking, like I told you, I'm a very ambitious person. I'm thinking about LA. I'm thinking right now. We're thinking. I'm saving up. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm still gonna have the house here. I might do like a dual thing. Yeah. Because my friends in LA are like, hey man, LA's
like I'm bi-coastal. There's a difference.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So it's been a good time.
That's what's up. It seems though that people are doing an exodus out of LA versus going to. I mean, don't get me wrong, people are still there, but when I hear different stories, people are, especially when you hear like, not that I'm talking to, but when I hear Joe Rogan speak, he talks about because he made that move and talks about other actors that have.
My thing is this, right? And I think because I have a friend I think he just graduated college. He's gonna be an agent, like that's what he's gonna do.
Okay.
Or management or something like that.
Yeah.
And my thing is this, and this because I used to own a gym, so I was a businessman, so I got the business mentality.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: if you got McDonald's and then a Wendy's pops up across the street, is McDonald's just gonna quit?
Right.
No. LA is known for film. That's what they literally made their money off of, and that's the stigma around LA. I'm not like putting Atlanta down. I love Atlanta. I love the films here. It's great. It's great for everyone here. But to say that LA isn't gonna fight back is tough, and especially because they are casting big roles and stuff here, but when I think about my future, I think I'm the main star of a Netflix film. I'm not just in it for 2 pages, and that I know of. Maybe I just haven't made it further enough yet, but I don't see that in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
I don't see those roles in Atlanta.
Okay.
They still when you look at a motion picture film, right? What do? They fly a majority of the actors here.
LA actors.
Do you see what I'm saying? So yes, we have opportunities, but in my mind, like I said, I'm aiming big. I'm aiming for as high as I can. I want to be that person, and clearly they didn't get him from here because they flew them from LA.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So there's still this weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, Atlanta's winning.
No, you don't know, but you're making sense there with that one. Yeah, absolutely. I feel you.
So it's I'm still deciding. I'm still trying to see. I'm waiting for how it goes because LA ain't gonna be no dropping everything, buying a house in LA. I'm gonna be living in a cardboard box on the street.
Skid Row out there. Yeah. No disrespect to Skid Row. Yeah. But okay. But no, I feel you. But you are with an agency now. What was it?
J Purvis.
J Purvis. Okay. How'd you get with them?
Well, I was modeling first because I was a model originally before an actor. Because I remember I thought about Mark Wahlberg. I was like, all right, he was a model.
You want to get the Calvin Klein?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll just transition. Right. And I literally did transition. That's how my career became. So it's kind of funny. I always inspire people. Hey, if you want to get into acting, sometimes modeling may be the thing. But So I signed with Click Models.
Okay.
I think 2 years ago, right before COVID, because it just threw me back. But and then I remember that I found out that Jay Purvis was literally in the same building.
Gotcha.
So I was just like, huh. And I looked him up. And Jay Purvis is pretty up there. Jay Purvis has been around a long time. Mm-hmm. It's one of the longest agencies around here. So when people say, when I tell people I'm with Jay Purvis, how do you get with them? like Jay Purvis.
So that or Central Casting.
Yeah. But so I was like, all right. Okay, I'm going to try it. And I remember I told my agent, and then she went to, I think it's Jamie. So when she went to, she's a commercial agent. And then she was like, hey, Chris is interested. And she's like, what's his reel look like? Tell him to work on this, tell him to work on that, and tell him to check back in 6 months.
Okay.
So I busted my butt. And that's like I said, I have so many shorts and stuff I did. I was like, I'm not just going to sit here and play around. I'm going to bust my butt and show them what I can do.
Absolutely.
And I did. And I had 12 shorts or something like that within 6 months.
I'll take it.
So, and then I finally resubmitted again. I had my agent submit. And it's funny because, they only take really referrals. So I was lucky that I was with Click. If I was not with Click, I probably wouldn't be with Jay Purvis now.
Yeah.
And some people are signed with Click as a model and signed with a different acting agency. So I was very blessed to be with them. Mm-hmm. But so that's how it happened.
Okay.
I was modeling, and then I was like, hey, I want to do this. And I busted my butt, and then I sent them my stuff, and they gave me a chance. So,
okay, sweet. How'd you get the land 30331, Jay Nance, with Jay Nance?
She called me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I remember. What was I doing? I can't even remember. I remember the moment she called me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember she called me. I can't remember the whole conversation. And she was like, hey, tell me about the series. Oh, this sounds really cool. Tell me about her experience. She was a cop and all this stuff. I was like, that's really cool. That's really cool. And she was like, I think she said, I see that you have fight experience or something like that. And then she was like, I want you to play the sergeant. And I was like, yeah, there was no question. I was like, okay. She was telling me people that she knew. She knew Lester. I love Lester. I was like, she knew Laura. I love Laura. I was like, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. Because sometimes when people call you, you're like, I don't really know you. But when they start dropping names of people that you know wouldn't do something if they weren't passionate and I was like, yeah, there. And that's it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I never forget. I was like, this random person calling me. What is going on? I think Lester let me know that someone was going to be calling me or something like that. So I kind of knew, but I didn't know when.
Gotcha.
Oh my God. But yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And now you are starring in, what's the title of it? An AMP production.
Yeah. AMP Studios.
AMP Studios. Yeah. But what's the name of the project?
What is it? Yeah. AMP Studios is the name of the project.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's the name of the actual movie?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I know that's the name of her production.
I think that's I may have to talk to her about it because she's busy with the pre-production
stuff.
I'm busy doing other stuff, so we haven't really had time. But other than me memorizing my script, I got to do my job as an actor.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, why is it called that? But I think
I never even thought to ask the name.
Yeah. I'm thinking that it's because her production's called that, which is kind of like a tie together, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
So what's the synopsis? Can you tell that?
I'm not good at this stuff. I spoil things. So the synopsis
without giving away anything?
Yeah, the synopsis is essentially is I'm an actor. Mm-hmm. Like literally in the film. I'm an actor. Right. Yeah, but so I'm an actor, and I'm not good at this stuff because I'm so talkative. I'm with a studio.
Okay.
And I want to kind of get out of the studio, and then things transpire.
And when you say you want to get out, meaning as in you don't know.
Trying to leave, trying to go with somebody else. Trying to take different options.
So you was on Death Row Records.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be on Death Row Records anymore. You're trying to.
Yeah. I'm trying to go to a different place. And they're like, no.
Doing everything to hold you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it becomes a little bit action packed because the person's just not just some sort of normal CEO. He's a little, different. So it becomes it becomes something else, But it's See, I'm already.
No, but that's okay. Okay, so I get it now. I guess that would be why it's titled that.
Yeah. Because it's based around the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Because I see the cover and I see you on the cover with your. I guess she's your co-star.
Yeah, co-lead star. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Anna Stradler. Yeah.
When do production kick off?
End of this month.
Wow.
End of this month. Yeah, we have a table read on Saturday, I believe, if that's the 5th, or Friday. Tomorrow, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have a table read then. Everything's going good. There's gonna be some cool action scenes in there, which I'm excited for. I think I'm bringing in some of my stunt guys that I know, some of my friends. And
Okay,
stuff.
that's
so
what's
it's
up.
Gonna be, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. What do you know what the plans are with the film? Is she gonna film fest?
I don't know. I mean, it's a feature. It's a feature. So
yeah, it's a feature.
I don't know. But if I know one thing about Laura and April, is that they're not gonna just push out this project
right, yeah,
and do nothing with it.
Do nothing.
You know,
exactly.
they're very passionate people. So I think that them putting it out, they're definitely going to put it to the max of their capability of what they want to do with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it yet, but I just know that that's the one you know, people always worry about that, especially as an actor. You're like, okay, why am I doing this series, this web series, this short film? Where is it going?
Yeah.
Because it's great to make something, but it's better to have it go somewhere. And that's how I feel now too, like when doing shorts. I'm like, okay, I'll do a short. I'm so down for it, but I want it to go somewhere. I don't want to just like, wow, that was great. We show the Instagram, we show the Facebook, and then
that's it.
And then it dies out over time. But yeah, I think they're definitely gonna put it places. And I think it definitely, and obviously I can't give too much away, but the script is great. Obviously I've read it. I think it definitely has a lot of potential. And the action's gonna be good. So
yeah,
I'm excited to showcase all that.
So. That's what's up. Yeah, and then Laura is actually Laura Poindexter. She's actually directing.
Yes, that's why I say April and Laura.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be pretty cool.
It is.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like actually looking forward to being on set for some of it.
Yeah.
April seems really, really cool. She was cool when they came through and I met her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about the project.
Yeah.
So what are your future plans? I know you're talking about the potential of LA.
Yeah.
But while you're here in Atlanta, are you, you know, I know COVID has still got us in a weird space, kinda. Slowly opening back up, kinda.
Yeah,
we're really open, but we just gotta say it.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Just to make sure.
Right. You know, do you have a gym here?
No,
because I know you train here.
I don't. I train out of my back. I built so I don't lift weights. I do calisthenics. I cut out weights 2 years ago, but I built a bar park in my backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I built it. I didn't like make the wood. I got the wood.
First, I grew the tree, chopped it down.
Yeah, I wanted to specify that I didn't cut the wood.
That's funny.
But yeah, I got the beams, I got the bar, cut the metal, did all that, and put
really.
It so I got a 10-foot pull-up bar, I got a little short pull-up bar, I got a little 2 dip bars, got a heavy bag, got battle ropes, tires. Because the thing is, like, I don't have time for a gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like even right now, like today to come here, I was like, because my career, my acting comes first. So it's like I will literally push my clients around.
Yeah.
You know, because one of my clients is supposed to come today, and he was sleeping last night, so he didn't get my text about today. And I'm like, he's like, oh, he called me. I'm like, no, you gotta. I don't know what time. I don't know what time this interview's over, but that's when you'll be.
Yeah.
It's after that.
Wow.
But because like with the gym, it's like I used to have my gym back home, and like I would be training all the time, you know, training classes, and I love it. I love it. But like, I mean, I loved fighting. I love fighting. Fighting was, I loved it. There's nothing I didn't love about it, man. You know, I just, an aspect of money, or you know, I had a lot of. I still got pro friends. One of my friends had his pro debut. Dennis, he just had a 3rd-round knockout. Just saying, we do it different out here. But but like these dudes are getting like $15 grand, $20 grand a year, and they're working full-time jobs. Like I said, I'm ambitious. So I'm just like, you're going to tell me I'm going to train 3 days, like 3 days, 2 days, getting hit in the face, this, and that, and still have to work? No. So then I went to training people, which I'd love to do. But yeah, so I don't have a gym here.
I go to hit them in the face. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Well, boom. But so yeah, I don't have a gym, but I take like a select group of people. It's funny because my clients are always like, oh, like when somebody asks them, they're like, because I met I trained one of my actor co-stars from a series we did, and another actor came up to him, and because she told me this personally, she was like, yeah, I went to so and he said that you only take specific people. I was like, don't make him make me seem like that person. But I really do, though. I take people that are serious because I'm not like I said, I'm not in the gym pumping iron.
Yeah.
Like, I don't train people that way. Like, I train people for like boxing, kickboxing, martial arts.
Gotcha.
So, like, when I train people, I always tell people, I don't care who you were before, but you're going to know how to fight. I don't care if you want to step in the ring, but I can take somebody and then within 4 or 5 minutes, they could fight.
Yeah.
That's what I do, and that's how passionate I am about it.
And in doing so, you also help them, I guess, obviously to tone their bodies and get in shape.
I mean, when I started boxing, I never really went to the gym like that. I started lifting later in my fighting career, but I was shredded, like all belief, and just from boxing, you know, because I think it's boxing. I may be wrong. My coaches told me this, and they're old, and I'm getting older, so this information may be scientifically different now, but I think it's boxing and swimming.
Yeah.
And hockey, I think.
Okay.
I like the 3 sports that will get you in the most in shape because you're moving every part of your body.
Yeah. That's interesting that you say that, because they say that there are only 2 things that you can do. Well, now that you mention that, maybe there are more than 2.
Yeah.
But I've always heard there were 2 things that you can do where you're using every muscle in your body. And swimming is one. But the other one I heard was actual sex.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
That kind of makes sense, though. That makes sense, though. It does make sense. That makes sense. I thought you were going to say boxing. I was like, yeah. Oh, my God.
Of course. No. Right. It's kind of wrestling, MMA mix. You know what I'm saying?
BJJ. But no, yeah. So, what was the question you asked? So I kind of rambled. You asking what I'm doing here, right?
Well, just like, I guess the next step for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I've yet to, and I know that some actors kind of hold themselves to a higher standard and kind of brag. I'm a very humble person. So like I have not yet to have a co-star principal role in some SAG big, like,
Gotcha.
I can say that. And I have no shame in saying that, because me being comfortable with that makes me feel happy about myself, because no role defines me. I define myself.
Right.
But so that's my goal right now.
Okay.
Is to get that. Like I said, I've done a commercial. I did a commercial here from my agency last year. And it's like, everyone's like, that's congrats. And I'm like, that's great, but I've done those. I did those in Boston.
Yeah.
I didn't want to move here. Now am I going to say no to the money? No. No.
Right.
But so that's my next goal right now, is to do that. Is to land myself on a TV show, land myself on a movie. And I feel like I have the capability of doing that. I've been working very, very hard at my craft. And that's just my goal right now. My goal also is to pursue all of these things. Like every project that I do, because a lot of actors, and I know actors, that will literally, they just want to do the big stuff. They just want to do, I want to be in the movie with The Rock. They don't care about the short films. See, I'm one of those people that I think that all of the short independent stuff, how do you think those people got like that?
It leads to.
How do you think, people.
Look at Sam Jackson. He's in everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'm saying, man.
No small role for Sam.
There's no role too small. You're right. Yeah.
And it's like, but you got to start somewhere. So like, I've kind of changed my mind on like, obviously like I want that big stuff, but I'm actually like, I have this like dream of mine to like be part of something like AMP Studios, where it's like that blows up. And like that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because that will give me so much greater of a feeling.
Yeah, of course.
That every single person on there, that's their big break.
Yeah.
Not me just like, I got casted in this thing and like this is my time. But being part of a project that you could say, yeah, that's where we all got our moment from.
Yeah.
That just like, even if it's like, 301.
30331.
My address, I live in Cascade. So mine's 30311. And that's, what is it? 303?
331.
That's why. That's why I was messing up, because I want to say my zip code.
Gotcha.
But like even like a series like that, like I didn't even have a big part. I was like a sergeant, right? Even if that was to blow up. So I've kind of developed this mind state of like, yeah, I'm going to be doing all this, but I want to actually be part of projects that are like, that's a goal of mine too. Like I really want to be part of stuff where people are pushing it and we can be seen and collectively, because everybody talks about Tyler Perry, but nobody wants to put in the work to be Tyler Perry.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm no director. I've directed things. I actually wrote a short. That's on my Instagram. I wrote a short, and me and Lester.
Okay.
Me and Lester acted in it. Yeah,
That's
it was pretty good. But so I've even been getting to the point like that. I'm gonna write my own stuff. I'm gonna make sure I get with all the people.
Time to start producing your own.
My goal is just to follow this through all the way. Because I tell people, listen, I'm not gonna be here. The cool thing about me is some people don't have backup plans. Some people are actors and musicians, and they don't have no backup plan.
Yeah.
They went into it, and I respect that too. But for me, it's like I can go back to training people. I could open up a gym.
Yeah.
It's not that hard for me.
Right.
Is it what I want to do? No. Could I? Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be one of those people that waste time and down the road. And that's what kind of happened being here, is that, bought the house, had to deal with the house, got a dog, had to deal with all that, and then was getting going, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I know a lot of people had, they had like the New Year. It was like the New Year's part 2. They had like the moment like, COVID hit, I'm not going to let this stop me again. And then they let him stop him again. But I've literally been on a mission ever since COVID ended.
Yeah.
Still to this day, like to not let that stop me. Because I feel like I think about it. I moved here, been here for 3 years, moved here, had to deal with the house, had a couple little short films, then started getting more and more and more short films. I was getting auditions like crazy from my agent. I booked a commercial, COVID, boom, gone. And now it's like, oh my God, no, I want this really, really bad. Like I really, really want this. So my goal is just to follow suit. But what matters to me is that, like, God willing, that I keep myself balanced. And that's what I'm constantly working on and constantly telling like my friends, because like as an actor, it's tough because you're constantly being pressured. It's like being the popular kid or being on the sports team. It's like, what do you have to offer?
Right.
So like, what I make sure is that I keep my mental state good. It's like I said, like no role defines me. I define myself. No job defines me. And, a lot of actors will get around people or around each other and be like, hey, what are you booking? I just did this audition. I just did that. And I'm like, man, how about we start with how are you doing? How are you doing personally? Yeah. Because I know how you want to feel, and you're saying that to me because you want to feel validated. But how do you actually feel personally? How do you actually feel, Because I care about your mental health. And that ain't your mental health. That's what the facade that you want to press to make yourself feel good. So that's what matters to me. And at any point, if I feel like my mental health is not where it should be, I take a break. Yeah. But my goal right now is to work as hard as I can and just full send it, man. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, man.
That's what's up. Well, Christopher James Green. Yes. Where can people find you on social media? I know you're more of an IG guy.
I'm Instagram all the way, man. Well, Facebook too, Christopher James Green. Okay. But Instagram, Christopher James Green too. I don't have a Twitter. I need to make a Twitter. I feel like Twitter's so weird, man. It's like a sentence. It's like, why don't you just go on Facebook? Yeah. It's just kind of like.
Some people just love it.
Yeah, TikTok too. I just made a TikTok.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I just made a TikTok. I'm doing like motivational fitness type stuff.
Gotcha.
So I made one like literally like a week and a half ago. Like 4 videos out there.
Oh, how can people find out more about getting trained by you? And
hit me up on Instagram.
Same deal.
Yeah, hit me up on Instagram. If everybody's serious, then it'll be. I'm always willing to take people. Right now, it's kind of like I've got AM Studios. I've got all of these things going on, so it's kind of hard. Like I had to decline a couple people, but I have, like I said, fighting was my life, so I have a soft spot for people. Like, I told myself I'd stop taking people 3 people ago. So and then I meet them like I really wanted to do this since I was a kid, and I love this boxer and this MMA fighter, and I'm just like what days are you free? Yeah, I can only do 1 day a week.
Right.
Okay, sure. But yeah, so Instagram, you just hit me up, and we can make it happen if they're dedicated and stuff.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to the upcoming project that you guys will get ready to start. I thank April Morris. Is it Morrison, right? Morrison for letting me be a part of it. Yeah. Looking forward to great things that's going to come out from it. Yeah. And just the things that you got going on down when COVID let us go.
Yeah.
Freeze us up.
I know.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. Christopher James Green on IG.
Yeah. Everywhere.
You just followed him. Facebook,
TikTok, everywhere. Yeah.
Right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted on what's going on, and we'll see each other.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it was a pleasure being on the show. I really appreciate you guys having me.
Yes, sir.
It was great to talk about these things, but who knows? We may have to delete some of this. I'm giving out too much information about me. People see me as a happy-go-lucky Christopher James Green. They're gonna be like, "Whoa, what?
Animal!
This what happened?
He can't play a thug.
What?" Said, please tell somebody. People look at me and they're like, "He can't play no hard dude." I'm like, "Listen, I'll bring it back. But I'm really excited. I'm really grateful that you guys have me on the show.
Yes, sir.
I really am.
No, it's a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure, man. And great things, man.
Yeah.
Great things for
All right,
sure.
man.
That's what's up. It's your boy G-Wade, holding it down, G-Wade Podcast. And I'm kicking it alongside with my man Deacon.
Dirty.
Y'all blah, 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 blah. Y'all know what it is.
The G-Wade Podcast. Bringing you the cool interviews, the hot topics, and all that other crap. The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.